Again, 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 again. See, they're playing with me. I am having a conversation with you all this time, and I'm telling you, okay, that little mark comes up and letting me know that we're still in control. I pay the bills here. I should have been on. You should have been be able to hear me. You should be able to be connected with me. Why are they so afraid? Why? 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 Can't handle the truth because I have receipts? Do better. Do better. Them 40 acres and a mule. Who's enjoying them? 40 acres and a dead mule. Who's got that? Two different things now. 40 acres and a mule. And 40 acres and a dead mule. Hmm, interesting. Still not ready. Censorship. Replay this and I'll probably be on muted the whole segment. Totally unfair, but I'll come back. I'll be back. I'll be back. Because we're going to get to the bottom of this one, just like we got to the bottom of the last one. So if you want to play games, it's on. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to inform. I'm here to present the audience, the listeners, real information as I know it, as it's being brought to me, so that you be aware of more than what you may be getting and with receipts. As I mentioned before in other segments, if it's third party, I'll make you aware of that, especially if I had not done my research in order to verify that it's factual. I will let you know that. But if it's lived through me, I know, I've seen it, I was part of it, I was there, I witnessed it, whatever, then it's coming straight out. Straight out. My intentions here, like I mentioned in previous segments, is not to demeanor, disrespect anyone, but to inform everyone and welcome anyone to have that dialogue about whatever the topic may be. In this case, this week, the Child Advocate's Office and their investigative report, their reporting of, you know, near death and death experience under DCYF and their care and so forth and so on. Anybody know about that? Please bring it. Bring it. Let's talk about it. You know, hope that the NAACP Providence branch, steps up and comes out of this little dark cloud that's over it and prevails and continues to do great things. We need it. We need NAACP under somebody's leadership, current, new, whichever. We just need to have the organization up and functioning and doing what it's supposed to do. And we need these other ad hoc organizations that complements, represents, talk on behalf of the Black and or brown communities to step up. Instead of being selective, you need to be in everything that has to do with our community. You don't pick and choose. Well, some things you may pick and choose that's realistically not in your league, in the sense that that's something that will handle itself, not wasting your time. But there's some real definite issues on hand, and nobody has stepped up. There was a young man, I understand, that was having a seizure that was manhandled by the police. Hmm, okay. ACLU, right on, Steve Brown, because you always step up to a lot of things. And you pick and choose the ones because you see it and you know how to go to battle. Ours, those other organizations need to be more aggressive, not necessarily aggressive, that's the wrong word, more assertive to some of the issues, daily issues that are going on in the Black community and the brown community. The housing crisis, it's still a crisis. And look, and as much as it's 95 degrees today, that does not mean that it's not going to be 45 tonight. And where are those people that were without housing? Surely many of them are still without housing. So, what are we going to do? What has been done? How much more money has been spent or is en route to be spent this coming fall and winter? How about that? These Band-Aid solutions, let me tell you, ain't working. They're not working. But there are solutions out there because they can come up with some ideas and get stuff moving and shaking and carrying on. And then what? But everybody doesn't benefit from those little special projects that get funded. All these galas and awards, and they're great. They are great. People need to receive credit where credit is due. Absolutely. Folks need to go out and shake their little feathers, get dressed and feel nice, look nice, and have a good time. And that's good. That is certainly interesting. Yes. But who's doing the work? The real work. The work for those individuals that are depending on these leaders. This priority. All work and no play definitely, like they say, makes a very a dull day. However, the Black and brown, indigenous, and poor community is in dire need. It's suffering. And every year it gets worse. Not even every year, every month, something new comes up to add to the already struggle that's there. I can handle mine. Not that it isn't a struggle, because it is a struggle. I think about my sons and my daughters, where they're at, how they're at, who's what. I have all that too. I do. It doesn't stop. But at the end of the day, those that are out there hoping that things are going to change because they're doing the best they can, you know, it's harder for them. Who knows how many kids have gone to school and they're living in a car or they're living in a hotel, motel right now? Who is taking the time to really check that out? Does anybody have the numbers of how many homeless, because the encampments, pretty much all of them have been removed, changed something, but survival is the fittest. They'll find another location. But who, what organization has kept up with that information? Can somebody let me know? Let's talk about that. Subscribe, share, and like, please. There's so much that I want to talk about. There's so much that I want to say, but I don't want it to be where, did you see her? Did you see Anastasia? Did you hear what she had to say? Always know for sure that all that I would say, if it's coming from me, my experience, and my factual receipts, it'll be factual. It will be the truth. And like I said, if it's coming from somebody else and I haven't did my due diligence in finding out if it's in fact facts, I will make you aware that my 411 may have you go call 911 because it's going to be correct. I'm not going to half step with that in any way, shape, or form. But we need to start talking. We need to put our differences aside. I don't have to like you, you don't have to like me, but if a job needs to get done on behalf of the betterment of the Black community, the brown community, the indigenous community, the poor community, we need to be in solidarity and say, let's do it. Don't pick and choose because they're going to give you a little something, something in the back. It's like, make believe. Yep, come on in, come on in. Yeah, yeah, all right, right. Yep, yep, yep. Smile, and all that. It should be where the people's best interest comes first. Now, we're not going to be able to help everybody because each individual's case, needs, etc., is different. However, there's more than one with the same. And there is solutions to all of these things, all of these ills. But what's lacking is real leadership. Real leadership. Not a leading person, but leadership. That's what's lacking. You don't have to be in the front to lead. You have to be committed to get the job done. We don't need to come into the room and sit down and regurgitate the problems. And majority of the time, when the kumbaya gets put together, they come in and they start talking about the problem. We already went over that 400 years. So what we need is to come and kumbaya with the different solutions to the problem. Leave your egos, leave your suit, leave your shiny shoes, leave your terrible salty attitude in a bag, but outside somewheres. And come into the room, sit at the table, and discuss the solutions to the many problems that the Black, brown, indigenous, and poor community are faced on a daily basis. Who's ready for that? Who's interested in that? Who would like to see that? I know of a whole bunch of y'all who claims that you're doing it already. And that may be so, but it's certainly clear that you're doing it with those people that you can, it's arm reach. You don't go beyond that. It's right where you can reach with your arm. Those are the people that you're servicing, and those are the people that you're dealing with, and that's your audience. But beyond that is where the real needs are. The real people that are saying, crying out for help, and you're walking by or you're driving past them or you're just ignoring them. Come on. The problem isn't going to solve itself. And if you call yourself that leader, then I would say, let's do what needs to be done. What is it now? There's a whole bunch of y'all making bag. Hello, make that bag, baby. Make that bag. Sure enough. At the same time, what are you making that bag for? To take care of your family? Absolutely. Take care of your business? Absolutely. But there's supposed to be a service being rendered before that bag. We can't just have the illusion of inclusion continuing. We can't. You have this one talking about this and that one talking about that one, and it's like, oh boy, cutthroat, cutthroat. You don't have to stand up and boast about what you have done or what you're doing and where you're going to do and all that kind of stuff. Because if and when you're doing it, those that are benefiting beyond your immediate arm length, those beyond that will acknowledge that and will say it without you having to say. I remember Balbina Young used to say to me, Anna, pat yourself on the back and give yourself credit for what you do because nobody else will. And I had a hard time, I find that to be bragging. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with going ahead and, yes, I was the one who did XYZ, and I was the one who, but it sounds a little bit self-serving. That's just me because I don't do it to boast. I do it to get done because it was needed, it was necessary. But that's just me. Now, a lot of folks say if you want to get something done, you might as well do it yourself instead of asking people to do it because there ain't nobody going to come through. People are going to say, I'll be there, and then the next time when the time comes for them to show up, there's an excuse. And that has happened often. But it has not stopped me from doing what needed to get done. You show up when you said you was going to show up. That's even better because we're going to do it even faster and may be able to do more. But at the same time, it doesn't stop. And it shouldn't stop you. You don't need a crowd in order to accomplish or help somebody or be definitely victorious in accomplishing a project that's going to benefit others beyond your arm length circle. There's absolutely no need for more than one because it starts and sometimes ends with one. Somebody's got to do it. Folks need to swallow that pride and stop talking about me, 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 me. I ain't gonna talk to that one. The heck with that one. And look, it's a waste of time. Folks are listening, they're seeing it, and then chiming into it. Let's use that energy and get some real stuff done, not temporary. Because a lot of stuff has been started and they don't exist today. They started 6 weeks ago, don't exist today. And it's like, honey, before they used to say, the powers that be here in the state of Rhode Island would say, Black ignorance is a $1 billion industry. Well, they're now saying Black ignorance is a $1 trillion industry. Hello, hello, hello. And yet and still you have a handful. Why like crabs in a barrel, right? When you could have a village full of individuals saying, let's go, let's do this, like it used to be. You made a phone call, come on, turn out. New York, what? Boston, what? Now Boston is coming to Rhode Island and taking over. Hello. They're rocking in positions that some of you sure should have had or should have, and you don't. Not because you're not qualified or not deserving of them, but just that you don't. You want it, but you most likely want it to be handed to you. Come on, man. Come on. Let's have real talk. Let's have some real talk here. You don't stop just because you accomplish one thing. You got to keep that one thing going. That doesn't mean that you have to keep it going. When you start it and you have others joining you, let it keep going. And you go on to the next thing that you can stop and get it going so that we can always have something going. The most action that the Black community has had has been this past summer. And I applaud all those organizations doing, this and that and that and this and all that. But look at the attendance. Look at the attendance of all this. Juneteenth was great. Their ball, their gala was great. Look at the Puerto Rican parade and their function at the park. Oof. Yes, baby. Yes. Ándale, baby. Sí, dame. Vamos a bailar. Dominican. Honey, baby. You talk about turn out, turn out, and turn up, and turn all the way around and over. Come on. Come on. Khalif. He's bringing artists, has brought artists here. Place should have been mobbed and well behaved. And as much as a good time was had, and show was an exit, still, come on, do better, do better, do better. Senatorial District 1, a open district, and not one Black organization who, claims to be very involved politically and, encouraging and all this, didn't have a candidate. Open seat. Wow. Wow. Come on. Dr. Ruth Simmons said 2010 to me, you can't help a people that don't want to be helped. I don't want to believe that because if you're hungry, you're going to go get food to eat. You're going to get something to eat. And I didn't want to believe it. But I continued to, fight the good fight. And it wasn't until 2018 where I had that aha moment. I'm like, oh, the Ruth Simmons has something going over there. This, I'm getting it now. 2019, I was like, I started talking about it. It needed to be talked about. And here we are, 2023. And the advancement has been some galas, a big Juneteenth holiday. It was a holiday on the federal level, which easy one, already a gift. Should have been Emancipation Day. Work on that one. But it was a victory. Now what you gonna do with it? Celebrate once a year? It's more to that. It's a whole lot more to that. You passed up some of it because you wasn't paying attention. You was listening but not hearing. So you was celebrating and continue to celebrate because it was successful. What really? Think about it. Ask questions. Ask some questions. My hope, my request, my dreams, my ask, my. It would be grand. It would be great. It would be fabulous. It would be sweet. It would be a message to see that the Black community rose, rose. Not the individuals that are, claiming the fame, all of us, everybody. You can go ahead and your separate ways when it's all said and done. But take that hat off and fling it, and it be like, it's on now, baby. It's on. Claim it like you own it. That 40 acres and a mule, not the 40 acres and that dead mule that you've been trying to resuscitate for 400 years. Come on. Are you ready? Like, subscribe, share. I didn't want to, stick on just one or two topic. I just wanted to be everywhere, just to give you a little flavor of more to come. I'll pick two or three, and we can go in depth into that. But we need to really get it together. Get it together. Got a question of me? Ask, honey. I'm an open book. And I will answer. I will answer you. There's no shame in anything I do. None. None. Seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be open. Ask and you shall receive. And trust. All three I have done and will continue to do. The more I know, the better off I am. And what good is that, me holding on to it and keeping it? No, I'll share it. I'll tell you. Like they used to say, feed a man a meal or feed a man a fish, and he gets full for that couple of hours. Teach that man how to fish. He'll feed himself for a lifetime. I don't even know how many of you out there know how to fish, how to plant a garden, how to hunt, how to strategize. Not enough, I will say, not enough. But it doesn't have to be that way. There's more than enough for everybody. So, the coal is on its way. The problem hasn't been solved. The situation is going to be there again for folks to step up and address. Are you ready? Have you had enough? Trust and believe. The numbers are going to be larger than last year. Trust and believe. that there's a lot of showboats that are going to be showboating because that's the best that they can do, so be it. But there's some real individuals, real mature, interested, committed individuals out there that have not been invited to come and do the right thing. I salute them. There's a list of them. But because of those who like to take the limelight, claim the limelight, they don't step up and out. Because, like, I don't want to be arguing. I don't want to be fussing. I don't want to. I understand it. So please, all, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all, if you could just set your stuff aside and start hearing the message, hearing what's being said. I'm sorry, hey, look, let's do this. Let's have that conversation. Let's do, it's not the Minutemen's time. It's not, the ladies, let's, no, it's not that. It's about uniting, working together, understanding the issue, understanding what the solutions can be, being ready, willing, and able. Everybody has something to offer, and everybody can do something. So let's not just leave it to the leading blacks or the leading browns or the leading Native Americans or the leading poor. There's no such thing, you know. Let's work together and do it together once and for all. It's a simple thing. Pride is sinful. I took this time to just kind of say what I wanted to say. I posted something on Facebook talking about, until a blind loyalist gets turns into a victim of the individual or the individuals they so are loyal to. Until they become the victim, they're over there victimizing. Then, after they become the victim and they get a taste of that medicine that they've been dishing out, all of a sudden they find Jesus. And all of a sudden they're do gooders and they're ready to, oh, yeah, but meantime, they were there. So, let's push restart and let's do it. Just ask the question, hey, how you doing? Um, I see that you're doing such and such. Want to get a helping hand? Instead of there being 50 backpacks giveaway, nothing wrong with it, but looking at the reality of it, if those 50 people got together and pull their resources together, got the backpack, they could get the kids some iPads, some other valuable stuff. But you have 50 people doing backpack giveaways and supplies, and you have many of the same people going to these same different places and getting these backpacks. Now, I'm not begrudging anyone from doing and trying to help, and I applaud you, in fact. But think about that. Think about where the schools are now. How many kids have access to a MacBook, to an iPad? It would be great if you had 1,000 backpacks and 1,000 Macs. That would be saying something. And you had it organized where you know that it's not the same person or the same family picking up 3 and 4 and 5 backpacks. because it's there and it's free. Think about the benefit that the kids can be benefiting from, that they could be having, that they should have. MacBooks, they're not super, super expensive, but it's something that the kids need. Come on, let's pull it together. Let's pull it together and be able to accomplish some bigger things. Bigger things. It's possible. Rather than this one wants to outshine that one, I gave away 100 backpacks and the pencils and the pads and all that kind of stuff in them, stuffed in them. No, it's not enough. It's not enough. Well, and anyway, I hope I left enough food for thoughts for whomever is looking, listening, hoping. I just hope I stimulated your mind to some of the conversation. There's some real talk that needs to be had on many levels. The General Assembly, the uh, the courthouse, the court system, the judicial system, okay, the Attorney General's office, the community, the Black curriculum. There's a host of things that we should be talking about and working together on that are of grave importance. So I would hope that I stimulated enough for conversation for other important individuals who are there, that are up and coming leaders, to step up and come out. Don't be concerned with, you don't want to make anyone feel like you're taking their sunshine or their limelight or their Facebook picture. Just step out. Let's step out and do the work. The work. The work that needs to be done. So again, I salute the folks that have been doing the work. The folks, I'll, salute those also that's pretending to do the work. I salute you. Hey, leading people to believe that you're, anyways. But at the same time, I encourage all those who have accomplished, like Chris Potter. Shout out, man. I'm really glad for you. Um, Stephen, I'm only saying that part. He knows who he is. I salute you and I thank you. Adrian has it. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. It's being noticed. Folks are talking. Definitely. I salute anyone who's courageous enough to step up and make the difference. As I said, please share, please like, please subscribe. And with that, I will bid you a good evening and until next time.